Okay, usually when I have a little bit of extra paint left over, I just did a 8 by 10. I'll show it to you. Just finished this one. I'm trying to do this nice and slow. Put it in the frame. You can see that. I'm using white, blue, red, yellow mixture. That's it. I'll bring that out of here. I had a little extra left over, and typically what I'll do, instead of using a canvas, I'll use I have a 6x6 tile here. Typical, very inexpensive, probably 99-cent tile that you can get at Lowe's or Home Depot. And what I've done is mix just a little extra white, because I like to use that as kind of a base on the bottom of the pour. I'm going to put this all into one little cup. I'm going to pour just a little in the center here, just for fun, just like so. I like to get the sides, as you all know. I'm a big proponent of doing that because it helps out with not losing a lot of your composition while you're tilting, because you're trying to cover a certain area, and you don't have to use your fingers as much. So what I'm going to do is we're going to start out with a little white in here. These are 3-ounce cups. And this is basically just leftover paint from that last canvas. I'm going to do a little bit of blue on top. I'm going to do a little bit of red. I'm going to use that, a little extra there. And we're going to go with white again, just a little bit more white. Puncture it through. That's pretty much all the white I've got left. Blue again. As you all know, yellow and blue make green, and red and blue will make a purple, so you're getting two extra colors without having to do that. We'll throw the yellow in last, just like so. This is a lot of paint for a 6x6 tile, but again, I'm trying not to waste it because it's just a waste if you just toss it. So do another painting. It's fun that way. And I'm not going to go crazy with flipping this. I'm just going to do a quick flip. This may be epic catastrophe here, but we'll give it a shot. All right, like so. Hey, that wasn't so bad. See it sliding around there. It means your vacuum, there's not a huge vacuum going on there. And I'm just going to twist a little bit. I'm trying to show you better, not knocking the camera all the way around. Get to the edges with the color. Kind of lift a little as you go, so it's not too thin. And slide around really nicely like that. I like that, as it does that. Then we'll come back kind of to center, and we'll lift. And there she goes. It's a lot of paint. Put more color into those edges. This is going to be a mess, but it'll be fun. It is just extra paint left over, so we'll play with this a little bit. I'm going to torch this, let it set for a couple seconds, see what happens here. I'm setting on top of a paint can that's pretty much 3/4 the size of the actual tile itself, so it stays pretty level. And again, you want it to be as level as possible. This is tilting just a little bit, ever so slightly to the right side, but we'll play around with that a little bit too. Let's torch this a little, see what we get here. Get the air bubbles out. There we go. There's a lot of paint. Again, this could be epic fail, but not a big deal. Let's just move this around a little bit and see what comes up. Sometimes you get lucky. Let's get those edges a bit. Kind of like that white corner on the right closest to me. Let's move this around a little bit. Move that back and forth. Let's bring that composition back to the center, that little focus of all the drips. Typically I don't like the drips that come out of the extra part of the cup. Kind of ruins it a little bit. But this one kind of made a little bit of a pattern, which is kind of cool. All right, wash my hands. As you all know, I got a little bucket that's cut out, gallon bucket. I cut a little hole in it so you can put your whole hand in and dip your hands and clean them up as you go. And then a towel right next to it. With the towel, you dry off, you work clean, your artwork comes out a little cleaner. So, let's take a look. I think we should torch it again. See if there's anything going on here. Any more air cells. No cell action coming out of this. However, you never know what's going to pop up. And again, you don't want to cook the paint, because you do, you create this little layer of skin, and you don't want that. Create that little layer of skin. I don't know if you're old enough to remember Mighty Fine Pudding. That layer of delicious chocolate on the top that all the kids really liked, and probably was some kind of disgusting chemical. Let's bring that back to the center a little bit. I'll play with that white corner a little. I don't want all that white there, a little less white. Yeah, I don't like it at all. Come back on over here. Drip that down a little bit over the edge. And come back. Now put that composition back in the center. Get that over there a little bit. This was an awful lot of paint. You know what I didn't do? I didn't put any oil in this one. So that's why it's not selling up. But it kind of looks pretty cool. Extra paint here and there. I don't typically like to add silicone afterwards, but I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to throw a little bit of silicone in there and see what happens. And I'm not going to put it like heavy drops of it. What I'm going to do is put a little bit on the side here. And I'm using a Treadmill lubricant, butt lubricant. I'm going to put a little on the side here. And I'm going to take a little stick and flick it on there and see what happens. Create some cell work here. Kind of cool. You can't go wrong. Art is art, and if you mess it up, well, you just keep patient with it. You be patient. Now I'm starting to get some really cool stuff happening here. A little more oil on the stick. I want to get one kind of thing going on right there. Oh, it's starting to look pretty cool. Yeah, something to be said about adding your oil after, which is kind of neat. All right, let's play with that a little bit. That's looking kind of cool now. Let's spread those out just a little bit more. Bring that cell work back in a little bit more. Kind of cool. Just move it around ever so slightly. I've seen people work with it really fast. You kind of run over the cells that way and over the paint. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to lose all that really cool stuff that's happening, you know. I'd be interested in your comments. I'm sure I'll have some naysayers about my technique today, but this was actually kind of cool. Yeah. All right, I think that's pretty cool. Typically, I'll take a little off the side where I see negative space, and I'll put a little extra paint there with my finger. See, that's why I don't like working with gloves, because gloves can be a little bit cumbersome if they don't fit perfectly like a surgeon. You want them to fit really, really, really tight so as not to drag paint accidentally in all the wrong places. I'm catching my sides here, making sure they're covered too. And so far so good. Looking really kind of cool for an extra, little extra paint. Looking good. All right, that'll settle down. I'm sure it'll expand a bit. I see it kind of moving over to the right still. I'm gonna even that up a little bit, but for the most part, I think she's done. Yeah, I think that's looking pretty cool. Catch that edge. All right, if you like what you saw today, please feel free to subscribe. Thanks again for watching.